When you see those huge military parades in North Korea, all the roaring jets and marching soldiers, you'll almost always see a woman standing near the supreme leader, usually with a faint smile on her face. Well, that's Kim Yo Jong, Kim Jong-un's younger sister. But you really can't let that serene look fool you. A lot of experts are now calling her the most dangerous woman in the world. So let's dive in and figure out how she earned that terrifying title.
And this really gets to the heart of the paradox that is Kim Yo Jong. On one hand, she's this charming diplomat, right? The smiling face of the regime, the one who can totally disarm her enemies. But on the other hand, she's the tyrant's enforcer, a woman who many believe is capable of incredible violence to protect her family's power. It's this combination that makes her so uniquely formidable.
Her big debut on the world stage shows this duality perfectly. Back in 2018, she showed up at the Winter Olympics in South Korea. Now, this was a massive deal. I mean, it was the first time anyone from the ruling Kim dynasty had ever set foot in South Korea since the war.
So while she was presenting this soft, friendly image of North Korea, having dinner with South Korean leaders and even hand-delivering a letter from her brother, the experts saw something very different. The media was absolutely captivated, sure, but analysts were quick to say, hey, wait a minute. They saw this as a calculated performance, a total masterclass in propaganda, all designed to lull the world into a false sense of security.
Okay, so to really get how she rose to power, we've got to rewind to a time when nobody even knew who she was. For years, she was basically the invisible princess of the Hermit Kingdom, raised in complete and total secrecy.
So here's the most crucial thing to understand about her lineage. Her exact birthday might be up for debate, but what we know for sure is that she is the youngest daughter of Kim Jong-il and, most importantly, the full sibling of Kim Jong-un. That direct bloodline is the absolute bedrock of her power.
And you can see from this timeline just how calculated her climb was. She wasn't just handed a powerful position. She was groomed for it, step by step. From studying in Switzerland under a fake name, to managing her brother's personal security and travel, and then, finally, getting her first official job in the propaganda ministry. Every single move was deliberate, and it all happened behind the scenes.
And that role in the propaganda and agitation department, that became her kingdom. And this wasn't just about press releases. This was about literally creating the reality that North Koreans live in. And she very quickly became its chief architect.
She didn't just get a job in the department, she completely took it over. Her main mission was to basically turn her brother into a god. And she did it by carefully crafting his public image. His haircut, his clothes, his mannerisms, everything was designed to make him look and act just like their grandfather, the nation's founder, Kim Il-sung. It was a genius move, really. It connected her brother to this mythical, revered past and made his rule feel legitimate. Many believe she became the real power behind the throne, the true mastermind of the entire state's message.
Her influence grew so big that the outside world had no choice but to take notice. In 2017, the United States didn't just sanction some minor official, they sanctioned her, specifically calling her out as a key figure responsible for the regime's censorship and, yes, its severe human rights abuses.
For years, she was this silent power broker, pulling strings from the shadows. But then, a moment came that just shattered that image forever. This was the calm before the storm. The moment the world finally heard her real voice.
So in April of 2020, Kim Jong-un just vanished. He disappeared from public view, and intelligence agencies all over the world went into a frenzy. Rumors were flying everywhere. Was he sick? Had he died? North Korea went completely silent, which created this massive, terrifying power vacuum.
And then, out of that total silence, a voice emerged. But it wasn't her brother's. It was hers. She issued her first ever personal public statement, and it completely destroyed her old diplomatic persona. She just ripped into South Korea, comparing them to a dog yelping in fear. It was a clear message to the whole world. My brother might be gone, but I'm here, and I am in charge.
A few weeks later, Kim Jong-un reappeared, looking just fine. So what happened to his sister? Was she punished for speaking out? Nope. She was rewarded. She was reinstated to the Politburo, that's the country's top decision-making body, and she had even more authority than before. This one event proved she wasn't just some advisor, she was the regime's true Iron Lady.
But look, her reputation isn't just built on tough talk. As we're about to see, the path to power in North Korea is, well, it's paved with bodies. and Kim Yo Jong is considered a master of this absolutely brutal game.
The list of ruthless things she's been linked to is just chilling. Reports suggest she was the mastermind behind the execution of her own uncle for being disloyal. She's been implicated in the nerve agent assassination of her half-brother in a Malaysian airport. She's the one who personally ordered the demolition of a joint liaison office, which was a huge symbol of peace with the South. And sources claim she's even had officials executed for the tiniest signs of disrespect.
Her language is just as violent. She calls people who manage to escape North Korea scum. And her venom isn't just for her own people. She's publicly insulted world leaders, calling the sitting U.S. president an old man with no future. Her words make it clear she's every bit as aggressive as any male dictator you can think of. So you take all of this, her bloodline, her control of the propaganda machine, her proven ruthlessness, and it all points to one conclusion. She's the heir apparent. She is being positioned to be the next supreme leader.
And if you want proof, look no further than this. She has issued over 40 official state declarations in her own name. This is a role that was once reserved only for the supreme leader himself. So now, for all intents and purposes, she's the official mouthpiece of the state. You could even call her a de facto co-dictator.
Now, of course, history has seen some incredibly ruthless female rulers before. Think of China's Empress Wu Zetian or England's Bloody Mary Tudor. But what makes Kim Yo Jong so uniquely dangerous today is what's on this slide. Those historical tyrants, they didn't have a nuclear button. They didn't have a hermetically sealed state with total control over every piece of information. She has both. And that gives her a level of power and a potential for destruction that is truly, truly unprecedented.
And that leaves us with this final question. We know she's brilliant, we know she's ambitious, and we know she is utterly ruthless. If her brother were to disappear for good, the world would likely be facing its first ever female dictator of a nuclear-armed state. So the real question isn't just, is she dangerous? It's whether the world is at all prepared for a leader who might just prove to be even more merciless than her brother.